Hello, my dear students. Today we will complete our lesson, which is the light. Do you remember in the last video we have studied that light is the form of energy that causes vision, and that the definition of the visible spectrum is? Yes, excellent. It's the light energy that can be seen. And we have studied also sources of light, which they are number 1, sun and stars, number 2, lighted candles, number 3, electric lamps, and number 4, kerosene lamps. And we have said that we have 5 properties of light, which they are number 1, traveling of light in straight lines, number 2, transmitting of light through different materials, number 3, light reflection, number 4, light refraction, number 5, light separation or splitting. And today we will study the first property, which is traveling of light in straight lines. The first property is traveling of light in straight lines. To prove that light travels in straight lines, we will make a small activity in which we will bring 3 wooden or curtain screens. Each one has a centered hole. Then we will put them in a row in front of a lighted candle as shown in the picture, where all holes and the flame of the candle are on the same straight line. What we will observe? We will observe that we can see the flame of the candle. Then light travels or propagates in straight lines. Well, what about if we move the second screen, which is in the middle, to the right side or to the left side as shown in the second picture? We will observe that we cannot see the flame of the candle, and that's a proof that light travels in straight lines. And this is our first property. As a result of traveling of light in straight lines, some phenomena happen, as number 1, formation of images through narrow holes, number 2, formation of shadow. Again, number 1, formation of images through narrow holes, number 2, formation of shadow. Number 1 is formation of images through narrow holes. To prove that traveling of light in straight lines can form images through narrow holes, we will make a small activity in which we will bring a curtain box and we will remove one side of the box and replace it with a piece of semi-transparent paper. Then we will make a narrow hole in the opposite side of the semi-transparent paper as shown in the picture. Then we will darken the room and put a lighted candle in front of the narrow hole at a certain distance. And we will look at the semi-transparent paper. We will move the candle forward and backward until you see a clear picture of the candle flame on the semi-transparent paper. What we will observe? We will observe that an image of the candle flame is formed on the semi-transparent paper, but this image is minimized. Minimized means that its size is smaller than the origin, and this image also is inverted. Inverted means is upside down. Then, as a conclusion, formation of images through narrow holes is due to the traveling of light in straight lines, or the traveling of light in straight lines can form images through narrow holes. And the photographic camera, which we all use nowadays, is based on the traveling of light in straight lines. Number 2, formation of shadow. When you darken the room and put your hand between a wall and a torch, what will you observe? You will observe that a darkened area of your hand is formed on the wall. Why this darkened areas formed? It's formed due to the traveling of the torchlight in straight lines in your hand. So a darkened area of your hand is formed on the wall. Okay, what is this darkened area? What is called? It's called shadow. Then what is the definition of the shadow? Shadow is the darkened area which is formed as a result of the falling of light. In this case, what is the source of the light? Yes, I hear you. Excellent. Was a torch on an opaque object. In this case, what was the opaque object? It was your hands. Excellent. Then again, shadow is the darkened area which is formed as a result of the falling of light on an opaque object. If the size of the shadow area is always the same or it's changed, the size of the shadow area is changed. How? By it changing the position of the object in front of the light source. If you put the object near the light source, you will find that it forms a bigger shadow. But if you put it in a distance far away from the light source, you will find that the shadow is smaller. Then the nearer object to the light source had the bigger shadow. Let's make a quick revision about what we have studied today. What we have studied today is the first property of light, which is traveling of light in straight lines, and that as light travels in straight lines, some phenomena happen, as formation of images through narrow holes, and that the idea of photographic camera is based on the traveling of light in straight lines. Number 2, formation of shadow, and that the definition of shadow is the darkened area which is formed as a result of falling light on an opaque object. And we have known that the nearer object to the light source had the bigger shadow.